idea that someone's even... They're like not even.
You don't know that.
No one's there.
You don't know that.
One thing I know for certain, nobody's watching.
What's up, y'all? Kofi Kingston here, and I would love to have a drink with Wrestling on the Rocks, depending on what that drink is, preferably non-alcoholic, you know?
How's it going, Celtic Warrior Damon?
Soda.
I would love to have a drink with Wrestling on the Rocks.
Maple syrup.
Fella.
I would never have a drink with Wrestling on the Rocks.
Boom. Back at it. Boom. Wrestling on the Rocks, episode 1. First episode. Every show is our first show, and every episode is episode 1. That's what we do here. Me and your boy, Kevlar.
What's up? It's like a game of Uno.
IIRonics rock. IIRonics rock. IIRonics rock.
I want the rocks.
We want the rocks. Son of a bitch, dude. There's a bug over here now. It's going to fucking bother me so bad. I know, but I've got so much drink. Well, we're going to have to start quick. What's in your glass, Kev? I'm going to start. I got to get this lid on my cup. Kev. I'm having the On the Rocks premium cocktail, the old fashioned. So, what's in your glass? And cheers.
I am drinking Jameson Stout Edition. Or the Cask Malt Stout Edition.
Oh, yeah?
It's pretty good. Smooth.
Sounds good. Sounds real good. Real good. So you're having the teapot edition of Jameson.
Yep.
Get it? Handle.
Yeah.
Stout. We're just kidding.
Tip me over and pour me out.
That's the definition of bottoms up. This is good. This is good stuff. This will be the one. This will be the one that gets us there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Episode dose coming up next.
Yeah, coming right up.
Never mind.
Got the lid. I got the lid. Oh, I'm at Ref Marsh. That's at Kevlar on the Rocks with an X. And we are at WOTR the show. Guys, it's been a hell of a week in wrestling. Fortunately for you all, me and Kev don't watch most of that other stuff with all the big news. So we'll talk about that tomorrow with me, Amanda, Jane, and Clump. Tomorrow night with a brand new episode 1 where we were going to go over AEW All Out and NXT and the future thereof. So tune in tomorrow night if you want to do more of that. But we are going to talk a little bit about it. Kev, is there anything you wanted to talk about before we get into it a little bit?
No. I mean, well, Gable Steveson, Olympic gold medalist, signing with WWE. Pretty exciting.
Yeah. Yeah. He was the second ever Olympic gold medalist to sign with WWE, Gable Steveson. announced that he has signed with him. I think it's dope, man. I mean, and he sounds passionate. He sounds like he wants to. He'd been saying it over and over again. I mean, on Twitter. I don't know how much. I mean, Twitter's not real so far as I can tell, so I don't. But, I mean, he got a real contract out of it, so fuck it.
Well, I know he wants to, eventually go to the UFC, so I think he's just taking the Brock route.
That's what he said he wanted to do. Because I saw him say something like that he had no interest in going to UFC right away. He wanted to become a superstar in WWE, then go to UFC and prove himself much the same as Brock Lesnar. And I think he even Lashley never made it to UFC, but he did a similar thing where he made it to Bellator. Yeah. So yeah, I think it's badass, dude. I think I'm really excited to see what happens with him, and just because you're an athlete doesn't mean you're going to be a great professional wrestler, but he's got a good track record.
Yeah, but it's also the smart way to do it. Instead of just getting lost in the shuffle immediately in UFC, making peanuts, make a name for yourself, create the draw, and then get the huge contract over there.
That's a really good point. I mean, not trying to throw some shade, but here it comes. Look out, sun's up. That's exactly how. Get your glasses on. It's exactly how CM Punk did it. He made himself into a star in WWE, and he went to UFC and had 2 abysmal matches. Got his ass handed to him.
Only one counted.
After the fact.
He only lost one. Lost
technically, at a technicality after the fact. But he made millions there. He had huge contracts for those 2 matches that were fucking garbage. So it would be like, hopefully you would see something more like Brock where he shows up and is dominant and stuff. But like you said, it's the smart way to do it because at the end of the day, you're not putting your literal body on the line, literally, for fucking peanuts when you're a gold medalist. Do it the right way. Like, go get trained or go get extra trained and, yeah.
I'll get my ass kicked for millions.
Yeah. I'll tell you this much. If you think he's famous now being a gold medalist, see how famous he gets when he's in WWE. That's the power of WWE. Pah!
Yeah?
Yeah, I'm a brand loyalist.
And don't you dare be sour.
Don't you dare be sour. Clap for your one-time gold medalist.
You can't say one time.
Yeah, one time. One time. Everyone's always excited about 2 times. I'm just excited for 1 time.
Yeah.
As you can tell by our consistent episode 1s. Welcome back to our one time episode podcast. Grim Reaper coming through. Cheers, Grim Reaper.
Cheers, Grim.
Yeah, I'm excited about Gable Stevenson. Someone also interviewed Bianca Belair and mentioned it, so we'll talk about it more tomorrow. But they asked her about what she thinks about the apparent new direction of NXT, and she obviously had nothing negative to say about it. She goes, "I'm kind of a perfect example of that." She goes, "I came in without any background of wrestling, and I'm in there, and seemingly in a blink of an eye, I'm on national TV, and I'm winning the title, the SmackDown Women's title." So it's like, yeah.
And she lost it in a blink of an eye.
She lost it in a blink of an eye. Goddamn right. Just a hiccup. I mean, look, you might be the problem is in NXT. That's the thing too. When you think about Bianca, think about how big of a star she is right now, winning an ESPY and shit. In NXT, she wasn't shit, man. Like, not in a bad way. She had charisma. People liked her. She had one title match one time and lost it.
I was going to say, she wasn't a main eventer.
She was not a main eventer in NXT. She was just someone on the show learning. And you know what? She fucking learned. So
she learned that shit.
Yeah, we'll break that down more tomorrow on episode 1. But, yeah, I'm glad you wanted to talk about Gable Stevenson. Anything you want to say about Gable coming in?
Good luck to you. Wish you the best.
I wish you a career combination of Kurt Angle meets Brock Lesnar. Let's fucking do this.
You think they throw him in the Alpha Academy?
Otis's new tag partner. No way, dude. We're gonna see that dude in the Diamond Mine on NXT. can be trained by Roddy Strong. But look, I know a backbreaker now. All right. Let's see. Other stuff that we'll grease over real quick. PWI 500 came out. Number 1 PWI 500 listing is Kenny Omega. Number 2 Roman Reigns. 3 Bobby Lashley. 4 Drew McIntyre. 5 Kota Ibushi. I just want to give you the top 5. Although Finn Balor is number 8, which is cool. But what do you think about that as a top 5? Omega, Reigns, Lashley, McIntyre, Ibushi.
It's whatever.
That's
I used to
exactly
care about
how I feel about it.
Yeah,
ahead.
I used to care about the rankings and stuff like that, and it's like, just a few people's opinion, maybe not mine. So I'm like, that's it.
Yeah.
Just meh.
So, shout out to my brother. He's got a podcast called Putting Up with Aaron Marsh. Michael Marsh?
Yes.
Putting Up with Aaron. Michael Marsh.
Aaron Michael Marsh.
Aaron Michael Marsh. On there recently, he had a guest who created a top 100 comics of LA to keep an eye on, to watch. And really, I mean, he did a great interview and they really break it down. But the idea of it was he just kind of thought it would be fun to basically rank his peers. And because he's also a stand-up comic. He made a bunch of like stipulations on it, like if you're already made, if you're on TV, like if you have a special, like you're just not part of the list, because these are people who need an extra look, right? What I feel like with the PWI 500, the more I see it year after year, it feels like that. It feels like a very specific person saying, these are my favorites right now. Mm-hmm. But it never feels like this is based off of any like tangible metric. You know what I mean? And we had fun with it last year when Sasha and Bailey had number 1 and number 2, and we're like, fuck yeah, our favorites. And Becky was number 1 again this year, I think. She was number 1 last year. And then it's like, it's great, it's cool. But there's also a big part of me that just goes like, yeah, I mean, it's just that person's opinion. It really comes down to like a small group of people, it seems like, who just go, yeah, these are my favorites right now. Mm-hmm. I mean, cool for Kenny Omega. Congratulations. But at the same time, it's like, it doesn't... I would take a Roman match over a Kenny match literally every time, but it's because of my bias and my interest and what I enjoy watching. And they are two completely different styles and everything. You know what I mean? If you like Kenny Omega so much he's number 1, then absolutely I could see why Roman wouldn't be. They're so different. But at the same time, I think anyone who says that Roman's their 1 and maybe Omega's their 2, I completely understand that too. They're so different. So the idea that they could even be that close is kind of funny to me. In a list like that. But what were you going to say?
See, I would prefer a Drew match over a Kenny match.
Yeah. Drew and Sheamus are good matches. They're watchable.
Yeah. But yeah, I'm just not a big Kenny guy. I just never seen the hype. Yeah, or I don't think he's lived up to the hype is what I'm trying to spit at.
Yeah. I've been disappointed by what I was expecting. But let's see in the chat real quick. GR Lunar coming through. Cheers to Lunar.
Cheers.
I didn't see Jeremy Stevens. Oh, there's Jeremy Stevens. Another episode 1. Cheers to Jeremy. Grim Reaper saying the PWI 500 judging period is from July 1st through June 30th. That's terrible. How do you be number 1 for a year when it's a 1 month time? What? The number 1 and
July
2 spots
1st.
are interchangeable.
July 1st through June 30th. That's an entire year. Starts in July. Ends in June.
I thought it doesn't go backwards?
No.
Just 1 month? How is summertime the year? So is that their fiscal year? Oh my god.
July 1st through June 30th. 365 days. They just start 7-1.
Right. They just do it in the summertime?
Yeah.
Is it because of like a fiscal thing? Christmas in July? The fuck's this about? It's September, dude. All right.
Well,
Let's see. The number 1 and number 2 spots are interchangeable, though Kenny holding 3 different world titles put him over the top. GR Lunar says Roman Reigns better than Kenny Omega, but I think Omega got the number 1 because of the belt collector gimmick. I think so too. But also, did he have 3 world titles? I thought one of those was fake. I thought the Impact and TNA titles were really 1 title. Are they talking about AAA? Is that a world title? I thought that wasn't a world title either. I thought the whole thing... Here's the thing. I get it. Cool. He had 4 belts there. But he really shit on 3 of them. So did it matter? I mean, I don't know. He really fucking made those other belts look stupid and meaningless. And I thought that was the weirdest part about his gimmick is I have this shit that's supposed to mean something, and trust me, it means nothing. And I was like, what are you doing? He didn't even come out with the belts for fucking months until the internet was blowing up about it. Just being like, can you just fucking wear it one time? One time?
One time.
Yeah. But all right. All right, we can move on from that, though. We do want to give... And yeah, again, congratulations to Kenny Omega. I don't watch your matches, and I don't intend to start watching them now. I hate them, so I'm going to be watching Roman. Go Roman. Roman number 1.
He's the best in the world. You gotta watch.
That's Shane McMahon. Best in the world. What was that, producer?
I always get those 2 mixed up.
What was that? What was that, Kev?
I said I always get those 2 mixed up.
Yeah, those 2 are easy to mix up.
Shane and Kenny, yeah.
Yep. We do want to... So this is the other news that came out, and I don't think there's like a lot to say about it other than get well, but Paul Levesque, a.k.a. Triple H, underwent a successful procedure last week at Yale New Haven Hospital following a cardiac event. He said the episode was caused by a genetic heart issue, and Paul's expected to make a full recovery. That's fucking terrifying, dude.
Yeah.
And obviously get
well
well soon.
soon, Triple H.
Yeah, speedy recovery. Cheers. All right. Yeah, how crazy.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see
catches
the
you off
other
guard.
thing. Oh yeah, it does for sure. Splinter Fox coming through. Ding dong. Well, hello there, Splinter Fox. Mm-hmm. Lunar does say Marsh Triple A has been recognized by PWI as world title since this year.
Of course.
Interesting.
So they can give it to Kenny.
Of course they did. They saw Kenny had it, and they're like, Kenny's not going to get the one without this one. We got to get this one on him. Let's see. So here's the other thing I wanted to throw out there before we get into just the shows in general. I wanted to get your take on this real quick, especially this quote. So obviously over the weekend, Daniel Bryan, Adam Cole, Ruby Soho. I'm missing somebody. Someone else made a debut. Oh, CM Punk's back to wrestling, I think is the other thing. So all those guys going over to AEW right now is big news, right? And we're going to really break that down and talk about what we all feel about it tomorrow. But I wanted to get your take on this specifically, Kev, because you being a big Daniel Bryan fan, when he went over to their after party thing where they do the little press conference, this was his quote about the WWE. Remember we talked about how why wouldn't you as WWE give Daniel Bryan whatever contract he needs? You know what I mean? Like whatever it's going to take, just don't let him leave. He's incredible. Like, why would you ever let him go? And people are like, oh, I can't believe they failed on him. And I think this is something to note. So Daniel Bryan said in that, the offer WWE gave me, they were going to let me go do some other stuff on the outside. But, and he goes, and I hate to say this, Vince sometimes, he and I have a great relationship. I love him. I do. Sometimes he's overprotective of me. I want to be able to push my limits. And then he said, I really battle back and forth because there's a lot of people there I consider family that actually are legitimately my family, and you know, people that I love there. So it was a really tough decision. So he talks about how difficult it was for him to make that decision and how he ultimately made it based off the idea that Vince can be overprotective of him. But I thought one of the really interesting bits there is that WWE did offer him a contract that was going to allow him to wrestle outside of the WWE. Like, that's pretty
Which
cool.
is insane. Yeah.
Right?
Considering, of everything else we've heard in the past about stuff like that.
Yes.
So
yeah. So for me, that told me that he was incredibly valued, that they did what they could, but he had to make a decision based off of his ability to be entirely unleashed, which I totally get. But at the same time, I completely get and respect the concept that Vince would be overprotective. Why wouldn't you be overprotective? Somebody as good, as talented, and unfortunately with a history of injuries like Daniel Bryan.
it's fragile. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know, some of these guys, like when Ric Flair, was out there again, and it's like, this isn't good. Like, just from their health aspect.
Yes.
Because, obviously I don't know what's going on behind the scenes in AEW, and I know the smaller promotions don't have anything close to it, but
Yeah, keep going.
someone shooting in the neighborhood again.
Yeah, we have a spider problem.
Just the medical, like, I don't want Daniel Bryan to push his limits and all of a sudden, his kids don't have a dad anymore.
Yeah, and I respect that they're both adults, and I would imagine that Daniel Bryan will be smart enough to not do anything that he thinks will injure him, right? But at the same time, you just don't know, right? I'm going to hit the chat real quick. Jeremy does say, some of the PWI rankings are nonsensical, and it's just another point that proves that you shouldn't trust Meltzer with opinions or news. He's not technically a part of PWI, but I don't disagree with you. Certain Fox does say, yeah, they were going to give him the matches elsewhere, but I bet he had a window to do it unless it was approved by Vince. I'm sure there was all kinds of stipulations. I'm sure that WWE would have to prove who it was, where it was, when it was. I'm sure that they were going to probably use a WWE producer or agent on the match. Like, I'm sure. I mean, and that's what I think he means is that Vince is overprotective in that you can do it and we want you to, but we want to make sure you're taken care of, you're protected. You're not just going there to lose against somebody to make them look good, where maybe Daniel Bryan's like, I want to make them look good. I want to lose that match. And maybe Vince is like, I can't have you lose that match. I have you coming up for a SummerSlam match pretty soon. You know what I mean? Like, I could see that. I think they both make sense, man. And I get it. I think I get both sides. Let's see. Spinner Fox. By the way, Mox versus Suzuki match is going to be fire right now, just like Adam Cole Twitch channel. Oh, yeah. I'm not concerned about Twitch. I mean, I'm on Twitch right now, but I'm concerned about the Twitch stuff. But and also that, yeah, I'm sure the Suzuki and Mox thing's supposed to be pretty cool tonight. I'm already getting messages from Amanda Jane, so we're gonna talk about that tomorrow night for sure. But yeah, dude, I thought that was crazy. WWE giving Daniel Bryan that option to do stuff, but Daniel Bryan saying, I just want to do whatever I want to do.
Yeah, I mean, it's his passion. It's his, it's his life. And, he's going to do what he wants to do. He's a grown man making his decision, so good luck to him. And
yeah,
I might switch on AEW, but probably not.
Yeah, to be honest, depending on who he has matches with, there's a very good chance I'd watch a little bit more of AEW with that. But we're going to really break that down tomorrow. We're going to talk about what I think some of the more interesting parts of the fact of Daniel Bryan signing there means, and we're really going to talk about it. We're going to dig in deep with Amanda Jane and Clump tomorrow night. But tonight, we're just talking about WWE. Spencer Fox says, but nothing in WWE matters unless it's in WWE, though, right? I mean... GR Lunar says it's in its own self-contained universe. It doesn't mean that you don't want control over stuff. Matter of fact, if you look back, whenever Brett, because Brett went to ECW to do the thing for Terry Funk, and Vince had control over who was going to win that match and stuff to make sure that it was protective of his champion, Brett. Like, just because you never air it, never talk about it, and pretend it didn't happen, doesn't mean you're not trying to protect your people. And Spinner Fox says all the casual fans just watch WWE. That is what that cater to, right? So who cares if he loses to somebody outside of WWE if that would have happened? For the things I just said, you still protect your people sometimes.
Just because they don't watch the lower promotions doesn't mean you don't hear it on Twitch or Twitter or Facebook
now more
or
than ever.
like that.
Yeah, I mean, think about it. Yeah. If in a non-televised event, Bret Hart had a match with Terry Funk and they made sure that Bret Hart was going to win because he's their champion and can't lose in a time where there wasn't social media, fuck, I got a bet right now. They're like, hey, that shit's streaming everywhere. Mm-hmm. So, and right now you got guys like Roman Reigns and John Cena talking about real life shit. I mean, John Cena's gone, but still. But yeah, unless there's anything else, dude. Yeah, God for not forgotten. Do you want to break down, want to get into SmackDown? Is there anything else?
Sure. Let's lay this smack it down.
Sweet, sweet. SmackDown. I opened up a shitty one. I apologize. I just realized I have no idea how this show starts. Started off with the tag team champions Usos cutting a promo. Then they were followed up by the Street Profits. Dude, the Usos promos are so good.
Yeah.
Just fucking love it. Yeah, we the ones. I'm digging it. And then the Street Profits came out. They tried to say stuff on the mic, and I felt like they were completely underwhelming after hearing the Usos. They were outclassed, yeah, 100%. 100% outclassed. What do you think about this? Usos, Street Profits, and then the match, Street Profits win via disqualification.
Truthfully, I love the Usos. I've always loved them. I wish they still had the paint, but that's a different story. But I just cannot get any kind of interested in any Street Profit match.
Mm-hmm.
Just not behind them, not like, they need to change something. I don't know what it is, but they need to change it.
I feel like, I mean, it's one thing to be turned up to 11, like we've heard people say, like Stone Cold is Austin turned up to 11.
Yeah.
But I feel like Street Profits are turned up to like 17 or 18, and it's just too fucking much. I can't get past their entrance or the first 30 seconds of their like I immediately start fast forwarding because Dawkins comes out just going yeah for fucking ever. Mm-hmm. And it's so annoying and obnoxious that I don't want to hear them talk, and they're just seemingly like big cartoon characters. In ring's not bad for the most part. Montez getting crisper. Mm-hmm. But yeah, for the most part, especially if the Usos are out there, forget it, man. I'm not even gonna sort of root for you guys.
Yeah, and
Grammy says top 10 theme in wrestling right now, down since day one ish. Hell yeah, dude.
Nice.
Go ahead.
What's that?
So go ahead. You're about to say something?
Oh, I was just gonna say when they had that run out later in the show, but I guess we'll get to that.
Oh yeah. Did you notice when you were at SummerSlam? I don't know where you were sitting in relation to them, but there was like a group of like 20, 30 dudes when the Usos were coming out. They jumped up and they were like bouncing to the song and shit.
Oh really?
Yeah, it was like a couple. It was like a section over from us. It was so dope. And they were all screaming along to the whole song. It was so dope. So dope, dude. Okay. So here's the cool bit. Let's talk about this. At this point in backstage, Roman Reigns tells Paul Heyman to go fetch his cousins. Paul Heyman leaves Roman's presence, and he's interrupted by Kayla. And Kayla's like, what the fuck are you doing, Paul? Because she's like a badass now. Paul's standing there. His phone starts ringing the Brock Lesnar entrance song.
Yeah, that's so funny.
So good already. And Kayla's like, your phone's ringing. And he's like, thanks, obvious Kayla, for the obvious report. And he like goes to turn it off real quick. And then as he starts to say something again, he starts ringing right away again. So he picks it up. Did he do it 2 or 3 times? I think it was the second time. He just picks it up. And Kayla's face, as she's like trying to point the microphone at Paul and like listen in, was so fucking good. I'm telling you, the character work that Kayla's doing in this whole program with Roman and Paul Heyman is incredible. But Paul Heyman's on the phone with Brock Lesnar. He does the whole talking to Brock, and you can basically get the idea that Brock is pushing Paul around, telling him where he's going to be and all that. And then he hangs up. What do you think of this whole segment?
Oh, I thought it was great. As soon as the phone started ringing, but at first when I heard the Brock's music, I was like, is he walking out to the ring? What's going on? And then when I realized it was Paul's phone, I was like, oh, that's great. Yeah, that's a nice move there.
So funny.
And I just started laughing. I was like, this is awesome.
Yeah, I thought it was so good. Now, tell me what you thought about this, though. So Paul Heyman goes to walk away to go fetch the cousins and such, and he bumps into the janitor, and he says, if you want to take out trash, Kayla Braxton's a pile of garbage. Janitor puts his head up, which is also, dude, the fucking heat between Paul Heyman and Kayla is so fucking funny. So the janitor looks up, and it's Big E in a janitor's outfit mopping, and then he starts laughing like a crazy person and holding up the Money in the Bank briefcase. What did you think of this bit?
I like the message where Big E's kind of like, hey, don't forget about me. I'm still in this equation. Mm-hmm. But the laughing bit, I just don't like. I didn't like, I should say. Like, I don't know. Like, everyone talks about the serious Big E, and I know it was kind of cynical laughing, but I still just, I wasn't feeling it that much.
Yeah, that's what I was wondering. That's why I wanted you to go first, because I was like really not happy with that part. I was like, I really don't like this crazy forced Joker laugh of Big E. But I liked the sentiment of Big E should be looming about with the Money in the Bank briefcase to be instilling some sort of nervousness around Roman. However, they've done very little of that. He's more so teasing Paul Heyman. So I haven't liked that he's not like actually showing up around ringside or suddenly watching a match backstage with Roman, or maybe Big E starts walking around with a referee. You know what I mean? Like, do something where it's like, is there actually a credible threat here? Because I feel like they've done very little to make Big E look like a credible threat when he should feel like a looming threat.
Yeah. Well, how many times have we seen in the past where whoever was holding the Money in the Bank, their music would hit, they'd run out there and they're like, or, sometimes they'd walk out there and just say that they're there and stuff like that. Or when the guy's down or girl's down, they run out there and they're like, oh shit, are they cashing in? And then they didn't.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And
right.
They changed their mind or whatever. Yeah, Big E hasn't done anything to that effect.
No. The entire Money in the Bank, dude, it's feeling a little bit like Otis to me right now. If I can be honest, because this whole segment, everything with Money in the Bank feels like how Otis was in the story with The Miz over Money in the Bank. And the most story we've had with Money in the Bank since Big E got it is that Baron Corbin stole it once and tried to buy it back. Like, Big E's not even cutting promos of Roman I'm watching. He's just out there doing his thing and having it and saying he's got kids with braces, which I think we get to in a little bit, but still. Or was that last week? I don't even know. I think
that was last week.
Yeah. I did not like the overly cartoonishly Joker laugh of Big E, but I love the idea that Big E should be looming, and I wish they were doing a better job of making him look like a threat.
Well, even just during Roman matches, go out there and sit on commentary.
Yeah. Just out here in case a good moment arises. What do you mean? Nothing.
Yeah. Or even have him, like, Big E being, joking and stuff like that. Like, have him sit in the front row.
Yeah. Sitting in the front row next to a ref. You know what I mean? Just like as like extra ref, like
with like a disguise on, but you can clearly tell that it's them.
Yeah. 100%. Do something. So, I agree with you where I liked the concept. I didn't like the execution personally. And I agree with you too. With the whole idea of people saying that Big E's got to be serious, I don't think he does have to be serious, but he also doesn't have to be a caricature of himself. And I feel like that laughing bit was a bit too much.
Too comic booky, cartoony.
Yeah, a little bit much. All right. Just wanted to chill about that. Moving along. Becky Lynch comes out. Goddamn right, Becky Lynch comes out. Goes out there, cuts a badass promo, gets the "You Deserve It" chants. She talks some mad shit. Bianca Belair comes out and says, "Girl, nuh-uh," and other shit. I really liked when the crowd was starting to chant EST. Becky looked into the audience like, what the fuck are you guys doing? Like, it was this whole like, no, you were chanting for me at first. And I really like that this Becky is like toying with the crowd a little bit. Like because obviously she's the heel here.
Yeah.
But what I love is that she's coming out like a face. She's coming out like a delusional heel, right? I'm the most popular person. People love me. The crowd's behind me. Gets that big cheer, tells the crowd, oh, yeah, we're all in this together. You know, oh, you're my people. And then Bianca comes out and says, you screwed me out of that. And the crowd's like, yeah, you did. And she goes, wait, what the fuck? I thought you guys were just with me. What happened? Like, that confused look. So good.
Yep.
What do you think of the whole segment here?
Yeah. I mean, I liked it. Moved the story along. Like you said, I really like Becky toying with the crowd. You know,
Yes.
and yeah, I mean, it was just solid. Nothing that I can complain about, but we'll see where it goes.
And
I'm
here
just
was
wondering if
another
they're gonna-
moment. Go ahead.
I was just gonna say, I'm just wondering if there's gonna be any kind of stipulation added to their match at Extreme Rules.
Can you imagine, like, you know how they have, like, a beat the clock challenge?
Yeah.
You know what you could do? Is you can do an Iron Woman match and be all like, look, there's not going to be no 10-second sucker punch. We're going for 30 minutes no matter what. And if you get an easy one on me, don't worry, I'll catch up. Like, that could be fucking cool.
That would.
Producer said Queen of the Ring. That's the tournament that they're talking about doing for, like, King of the Ring. Otherwise, I don't know what the stipulation of Queen of the Ring would be, especially if there's a title on the line. You're going for championship. But they did make that. There is that rumor going around they're going to do Queen of the Ring, and you and I have talked about that in the past. That is something we want.
Yeah, for years.
For years.
That shit.
What were you about to say?
Oh, just that I agree. An Iron Man or Iron Woman match would be awesome. And then you do have Becky go out there, or even flip it, have Bianca go out there to, you know, do the whole handshake, and she gets the first one real quick, and Becky has to play catch up.
Can you imagine, though, how fucking sick that would be if Bianca won the first one like that in a cheap shot? I mean, I'm saying cheap shot, but we know what you mean. But I think it would be fucking brilliant, dude, because then people would be like, oh my God, if Bianca didn't make this an Iron Woman match, she would have had it. And then she loses it. She'd become a bigger sympathetic babyface. And Becky would be a bigger heel. And people would get their fucking match. Dude, this is fucking perfect. Bruce. Bruce.
Yeah, right. Especially if Becky, like, cheats on the second pinfall. If she wins 2-1.
Yes.
You know, pulls the tights, pulls the hair, whatever, you know. Like, yeah.
Yeah, 100%. Does
Survivor's-
something dastardly.
Yeah. There, a lot of people would be feeling for Bianca even more.
Oh my God, dude. 100%. Yeah, dude, I think it's...
And then
they gotta do it.
and then the promo afterward, Becky just calls her a rookie.
Yeah, got you again, rookie. And can you imagine, too, if Bailey... Or not... God damn it, all the fucking B's! Can you imagine if Bianca Belair, not Becky or Bailey, but Bianca Belair, challenged her for the 30-minute match, saying that I don't want 10 seconds with you in the ring. I want to give the people what they want. I want to give the people a 30-minute match. I want you in an Iron Woman match, and whoever gets the most pinfalls win. You can, you know, and then fucking Bianca makes it happen. She catches the first fall. Everyone goes, oh my God, it's Bianca. She's getting it back. And then boom, 2 more falls with a cheap shot somewhere in there, cheating and cheat on both of them and be like, you dumb bitch. So fucking cool.
Yeah, can you imagine if like Seth helps out? He'd get so much heat too.
Oh, that'd be awesome. If Seth came out and just like sucker punched Bianca right in the eye.
Oh, do you like
Montez is like, what the fuck, dude?
Do you like that old he was Madden commercial? They wanted Marshall Falk to fumble, but he goes out there holding a fake baby and then tosses it at Bianca and then Becky rolls her up.
So good, dude. Have Seth pop up on the screen, even just like hovering over like a knocked out, bloody Montez, just laughing.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. Do some dastardly shit. Although, historically speaking, putting Becky and Seth in a program together as a team has not been favorable. However, I don't think it's an impossible feat to make it work.
But they were both faces. So that's not a good face.
That's a good point.
And then Becky comes out in one of Seth's suits matching next week.
Yeah, like remember when she did the premiere and she was in that suit?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, have a whole thing and have it like almost like a Hallican thing where it's like, you know, you got Seth with a white top and black pants and you have Becky with like a black top and white pants and make it look all fucking, yeah. Do it up. Do it up. Splinter Fox is totally on board. He says, "Oh, please stop." Thing is Bruce Pritchard's clearly a drinker and friend and drinker of the show. Come on, Bruce. Let's make this happen. Cheers to Bruce Pritchard, everyone's favorite online. Cheers, Molly Holly and her birthday. L'chaim. Although Spin Fox does make a good point. Bailey or nothing. Bailey or nothing. He said it several times. Grimber said fickle crowd. That's true too. Like when they turn on Becky. Fickle.
Oh yeah.
So good. Let me see. After that, we had Rick Boogs in a match against Dolph Ziggler, where he basically just beat the shit out of Ziggler. It was a pretty quick match.
Yeah.
And I guess Boogs' finisher, the pump handle slam, he calls it the Boog Screws, which, I mean, it's fucked up. It's so good. So good. Because it's like Booze Cruise, but Boogs.
I don't think you needed to spell it out. I think everyone got it.
I don't know that everyone does. I don't know if everyone's drinking with me on this Boogs Cruise, as it were. So good. I did like having Corey back on commentary on SmackDown. He was enjoyable, but Spinner Fox says, say, poor Dolph, what are they going to do to him next? Make him chase after the 24/7 title? Maybe.
Yes.
I mean, everyone wants it, right? It's a title. You got to have that gold. That's the thing, too. I think there's something... I don't know. Dolph Ziggler's an anomaly. He feels a lot like Matt Cardona, where he feels like a lifer because of how much he loves being there and being a part of it all. And he's had, realistically, as much as people might want to argue it due to the spiral at the end of each run and such, I think he's had a Hall of Fame career there.
Yeah.
I mean, he's had the IC title, what, 8 times?
I think so.
7 or 8. He was up there. He was up there in like the top 3 IC title holders. And he's been tag champ several times. He never misses. But I agree. There's a certain point. I think that, I don't know, man. He's so fucking good. But he's also got a very definable place in there. He always makes other people look good. He also never looks bad. But he does get his ass kicked sometimes pretty handily. One of my favorite Ziggler matches ever is my favorite Goldberg match ever. Yeah, you got lucky, but you can't come back and be lucky again.
Yeah.
What? It should have been me. And it should have been me.
Should have been me.
What did you think of the Boogs and Ziggler match in and of itself?
I understand they're giving Boogs the push. And when you do look at the whole scheme of things, it's like, man, yeah, they're shitting on Ziggler again. But similar to Dom, like, you know, you put them in there with guys that you want them to learn from.
Yeah.
So you know, good on Boogs and, you know, I want to know. I don't know. Outside of just the match being short, that's the only downfall I see from it.
Yeah. Yeah, and I do think Ziggler's credible enough, especially to the fans, that losing matches doesn't really hurt him. Although I do really enjoy, he's a great follow on Twitter. I do really enjoy people talk about. Someone tweeted out recently that Ziggler was better than, you know, a number of people that they listed, and he responded to it, and he goes, "Have you seen how many times I've lost?" Like,
Nice.
so good. Grim Reaper does say Ziggler's a 6-time IC champ. All right, man. And he goes, nothing will be bigger than his Raw after Mania cash-in. We all marked out then. You said nothing will be bigger. I think what you ought to say is nothing has been bigger, because I do think that if he were to do something big now, it would be bigger. Because now there's a whole other landscape type of viewership where everyone wants to see the workhorses get a payoff. So I think, when I think about, he's on the wrong show, but when I think about how Bobby Lashley had to take the title off of Miz with the Miz cash-in, that could have easily been a Dolph spot. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But in reverse, we'll see. I don't know, man. I think there's more to come for Ziggler, but maybe there's not. Maybe, I don't know, maybe there's not. It's hard to say.
Mm-hmm.
All right, after that, we did have a backstage segment. Sonya Deville and Adam Pearce telling Becky Lynch that she's going to have to defend that goddamn title against Bianca Belair at Extreme Rules, and they're going to sign that goddamn contract next goddamn week. They're screwing Becky. Again.
It's a conspiracy.
It is. Just let her be. She won the title fair and square. Grim Reaper makes a good point. Dolph Ziggler is here to show the world. He's here to show the world. Come on!
Yeah.
Right? Cernovox again says Bailey or nothing. That's a good point. I mean, Bailey posted a picture on Instagram yesterday or today or something where she's squat on top of a gym in the middle, or not a gym, a Jeep in the middle of some goddamn safari. And I was like, your knee looks fine.
Yeah, she's doing CrossFit now.
Yeah. Yeah, fucking over on Dead Boys Fitness with Seth Rollins, they post a picture of Bailey squatting like not even a box squat, just a straight up bare ass ground squat, knees bent as fuck, and she's got fucking 300 pounds up there. Your knee is fine. You get back to work now.
It's fine. Becky's got it.
Yeah, Becky's scared. She told her to take a break. That's what it was. It's kayfabe. We're getting work, Kev.
Bust out the old crow.
Get the old crow. Grim Reaper, oh, he's laughing at Fox. And Instant Fox says, yep, she's in Africa. Bet it rains down in Africa. Boop, 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 boop. All right. Kev, I'm getting in trouble here. Seth Rollins made his
Every
claim.
time you sing Toto.
Mm-hmm. What, Angel gets his wings?
No, I said every time you sing Toto, you get in trouble.
Oh, I get in trouble. Yeah, that's true. Let's see. Well, we had the Seth Rollins promo, Seth and Cesaro match, which I loved this match.
I liked
Cesaro
the
did
match,
win.
but I didn't
Go
want
ahead.
to see it. I didn't want to see it.
Why?
Because we just suffered, I don't want to say suffered through, but we saw a bunch of Seth and Cesaro not that long ago.
Yeah, it's true. That's true.
Not so fresh there.
That's a good point. I mean, it did feel a little bit like, why are we doing this?
Yeah.
But also, the match turned out to be really fucking good. And then Rollins snaps. He starts beating the shit out of Cesaro because fuck that guy. I mean, I did feel bad for Cesaro in this one.
Broke the little peg off the chair and was about to stick it up his bum.
Yeah. He was pegging him with a chair piece. It was wild. And it was just, I did feel bad because I was like, man, last time we saw Cesaro, it was like a Universal title shot. And we saw the WrestleMania thing. Yeah. And then now it's all like, hey, can you come back and so Seth can peg you real quick. It's like,
Yeah.
oh man. So I did feel bad about that, but I do think that there's more to come for Cesaro too. I mean, we'll see what happens. Rollins does scream at Edge, "Where are you? Where are you?" And then when Edge, yeah, you think you know me, right as Seth was about to smash Cesaro's head together with Concerto, Edge hit the ring, and Seth ran away. And that's what it was.
Laughed at him like Big E.
Yeah, he did. Laughed at him. Let's see. Grim Reaper does say Bailey shouldn't be posting anything so she can pull a Cena and come back at Rumble unexpectedly. I agree. She should be ghost right now. Spitfox says, you can do stuff, but she can't wrestle. LOL. Epically, if she has to trust other people with her knee. Yeah, it's true. And then Spitfox says, let her do her thing on social media. She deserves it. She carried the no fans WWE era. Plus, she can swerve the fans by posting a video or photo of being one place and then showing up elsewhere via Jericho swerve. Oh yeah, when he did that New Japan thing, that was cool. Let's see. After this, a couple more things happened. We had the Kevin Owens show with Happy Corbin and Logan Paul. What do you think of this whole segment?
I thought it was all right. I mean, once again, I don't know why we need the storyline of Big E and Corbin.
Well, they actually kept Big E out of this one. It was Logan Paul.
Yeah, but Corbin still hits him.
Yeah, Corbin and Logan Paul hit Kevin Owens.
Yeah.
I know.
Oh, yeah. No.
Yeah.
Sorry, yeah, I don't know why I said Big E or thinking Big E. But, yeah, I mean, it was all right. I'm glad Kevin Owens got his money back.
Yeah, got that $100 back.
Mm-hmm.
I did think it was weird, though. I thought everyone here did awesome stuff. Everyone was fantastic in it. But I also just don't know the point. I guess we're going to get to Baron Corbin versus Kevin Owens.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I really hope we're not going to get to Logan Paul in a wrestling ring.
That's what I was thinking. The way, because Logan Paul, he did all right on the mic and stepped up, similar to the way Bad Bunny did at first,
Yeah.
But yeah, I was the same way where I don't want to see Logan Paul versus Kevin Owens.
I really don't.
Unless Kevin Owens just beats the shit out of him for 10 minutes.
That would be cool, actually.
And then he
You say it
can
like that.
continue like Goldberg.
Yeah. Yeah. 100%. Just Goldberg's his ass.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see. After that, we did have Dominic Mysterio versus Sami Zayn. Sami Zayn got the win again. Dominic. Pobrecito. My niño. Dominito. Right? Something like that. I think it's interesting. This is I think the best use they've had of two people wrestling over and over again for seemingly no reason. This is really giving it a purpose. Where now Sami Zayn has become the gatekeeper to Dominic, feeling like he's on his own. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I actually think it's working really well, and these matches are actually really good and clever.
Yeah, they're working well together, and Sami Zayn. Because I was thinking about that, with Sami Zayn doing it. I was thinking the same thing. Why are we doing this, for no reason? But then, if you take it a step further, it's because up until now, Sami Zayn's kind of been basically bottom of the barrel talent. If there was the PWI rankings is what I'm saying. I'm not saying he's bottom of the barrel talent, but he's been on a losing streak and stuff like that. And he's been down on his luck. So now Dominic, hey, I'm on my own. Wait, I can't even beat Sami Zayn.
Yeah.
And I think they even mentioned that as a trap match or trap game type of thing.
Mm-hmm.
where you're taking your opponent lightly and lose.
Yeah. Yeah, 100%. I think that it's also really cool, just like we were saying before, Dominic being in the master class. Like, he's been working with these people who are really good at just in-ring and crowd work and stuff, and now he's going to get to work with Sami Zayn, who's, like, probably one of the most clever people when it comes to wrestling matches. You know what I mean? Just the layout of the matches themselves. I don't know. So I think it's awesome. I think he's probably learning so much in there right now. We did see the return of Naomi again, where she comes over to Sonya and says, what up, bitch? Where's my goddamn match? And Sonya's like, I forgot you existed, so talk to me next week maybe, and then walked away. I'm still gunning for it, man. I really hope that we see Naomi, Bloodline, goes to Jimmy and says, hey, Sonya's being a schmuck. And Roman tells Paul to take care of it, and we end up with Naomi and Sonya in a bit of a program. I think it'd be good.
Yeah. Yep.
We did finish up the show, though, with Roman Reigns and Finn Balor. What do you think of this match?
We knew that, like, once again, it's like the Cesaro match. Like, we knew the outcome. Finn didn't have a chance. I'm glad that it wasn't just a total schmoz, with the Usos going out there and jumping them beforehand. One thing I did notice, I was talking about it previous, is when the Street Profits make their huge, hey, we're helping Finn, there's like one person in the crowd cheering and jumping when they were running out. Everyone else wasn't even clapping. They just looked at him and watched.
Yeah.
And normally, with the faces and the guys that, that are being pushed so heavily, that's when people erupt. Like, yes, they're there to save the day type of thing. And like I said, I think I saw one, maybe two, jumping in front of the camera. And it wasn't a good look.
Yeah. I agree with that. I don't think they get the reaction that they believe they're getting, to be honest. But I did think the match, though, was fucking awesome. Go ahead.
I was going to say, well, it goes to your point where you talk about who's there. It's the bathroom break. So, yeah, the crowd seems like it's cheering, but it's the fans that want to see the Street Profits are in the arena. This time, everyone was there. It's the main event starting, and there was no pop.
Yeah. Yeah, that's true. That's true for sure.
But
Let's see.
The match, yeah, I thought it, I'm glad Finn got to, put some offense in, and like I said, I'm glad it wasn't a schmoz. And
yeah. And he looked badass. Finn looked great.
Yeah.
And he didn't tap out, so I think that there's still a lot of possibilities here.
And then they teased the demon.
They did. They did tease the demon. Right as Roman's leaving, the lights kind of flicker red, and you hear that little bit of a heartbeat thing as Balor lay dead in the ring. Roman, I liked, he kind of looked up, looked to the side a little bit, and just kind of shrugged, never mind. He's like, did I see a thing? Probably not.
It was nothing.
Yeah. I thought that was really cool. I loved it.
Yeah.
What I also liked is the amount of people saying, oh, it's because of Brock Lesnar and MSG. What the fuck? Yeah, you got him.
How would that even correlate to Brock?
Yeah, Brock doesn't, just because he has red in his graphic on the logo doesn't mean that all the lights turn red when he comes out. Yeah. It's just weird. I just thought it was funny. The amount of smart people just being clearly they're teasing Brock Lesnar. I'm like, yeah, clearly. So stupid. So stupid.
They didn't announce it 13 times that he was going to be at NSG this week.
Yeah, 100%. Splinter Fox losing his mind in the chat about AEW. Says Lucha Bros won the tag titles. They're leading Mexican wrestling. Splinter Fox also saying Tiger Style just signed with All Elite. All right. All good stuff. I've heard good things about Tiger Style. Let me see. What? That's Elite right there. Yeah. That's some Elite right there.
Ruining the show.
I'm not. I'm adding to it.
You're not.
No, that's what happens.
Gross.
You want to talk Elite?
Oh,
Yeah, I love the tease for Balor, and like you said, they advertised the shit out of Brock being at MSG anyway, so doing that little teaser doesn't mean anything. I'm excited to see what happens at MSG. I'm excited to see how the Demon gets involved somewhere. Oh, Spinnerflex said my butt's already talking about Raw. He's not wrong, actually.
no.
Super show. Anything else you want to talk about SmackDown before we get through Raw?
Nope.
All right, let's talk Raw. Monday Night Raw. Here we go. Let me look at the thing. We had it open up.
Oh, tag teams again, just like
Had
SmackDown.
a bunch of tag teams opened up with RK Bro because of the tag team Turmoil. When they're going to sit ringside. What do you think of all this? They came out. You had MVP and Bobby Lashley come out talking some shit. Am I looking at the right thing? Yeah. And then New Day comes out. They do their survey thing again.
Love it. Their outfits.
Yeah, doing the old NWO stuff.
Outsiders.
Yep. And then we had the Viking Raiders against New Day to open up the Tag Team Turmoil match. What are you going to say?
Didn't Nash shout them out?
Yeah, Nash tweeted about how he thought it was cool that Kofi's gear. He said it was nice to see what it actually would look like in action. Making a joke about how little he moved. What do you think about this opening segment and the Tag Team Turmoil?
The opening segment was all right. I like the little promos, the 10-second promos each tag team did. I thought those were pretty cool. MVP and Bobby getting involved. I don't know why, and it's clear, more so than ever that it's Randy and Bobby, which I'm okay with, but
yeah,
we'll see where it goes. And then the tag team turmoil started. I thought New Day and the Viking Raiders did a great job.
Yeah.
Like, that part of it was awesome. A lot of back and forth, this and that. And then after that, the tag team turmoil went to shit.
You think with Lucha House Party?
I just think of the way New Day kept winning with roll-ups.
Yeah.
I didn't like that. It was like, when they were doing that, I'm like, all right, they're surviving. They're surviving to the next one. I understand. And then they cut it off. And they're like, oh, we'll be back later. Well, then don't have them just roll up everybody.
I don't think that the kayfabe belief was that they were going to cut it off when Mace and T-Bar lost to New Day and they snapped and beat the shit out of them with stairs and stuff. That's when they said, okay, this is some bullshit. We're going to start it up later. I think the idea was that New Day thought they were in for a long haul, and so they were trying to do that stuff. And then when T-Bar and Mace just beat the shit out of them, it was kind of like, okay, well, never mind, I guess.
Yeah. Well, the other thing I don't like is every single gauntlet and tag team turmoil that I could remember recently, whoever's one or two pretty much lasts the whole time.
They get pretty far.
Yeah, I want, if they don't make it, like, I think this is the first time that they didn't make it to the final two. But it's like, I want staggered wins and losses, and hey, I beat this guy. Oh, I took out two people, but I couldn't take out the third, and you know what I mean?
Yeah. No. Yeah. I mean, they get pretty far. I do think also, like, I mean, even I think Kofi in the Gauntlet match that everyone talks about, he wasn't in the final two. There was he got taken out by AJ, and there was at least one or two more people after that. But it's about the showing he had till he got to that point that was everything. But Yeah, a lot of times at this point they're getting pretty far. But I thought Xavier Woods was a fucking highlight reel.
Yeah. Oh yeah. No, yeah. I don't want to take anything away from Xavier or Kofi. They performed their asses off, doing great. But Xavier, they must be teasing a King of the Ring as well because he's putting in some extra work.
He definitely seems to be putting in that work, 100%. Let's see. After that, we did get Sheamus and Drew again for a shot at the U.S. title. Dude, I'm not really into this story of Drew McIntyre wanting to go for the U.S. title because it's the one thing that keeps him from being Grand Slam. But he also didn't seem to remember that till suddenly. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, it wasn't like he was no longer allowed to go after Bobby, and then he cuts a promo being like, I'll see that title down the road, but I've got to set my sights on something else.
Yeah,
He
the
just
next
all
thing
of a
on
sudden,
my checklist is this.
He didn't do any of that. He just always talks about his goddamn sword, talks about Jinder and his motorcycle. He comes out and all of a sudden goes, yeah, well, maybe I might as well take that too. I'm like, what the fuck, dude? Like, but they have a match that was actually decent, pretty solid for the most part.
I did like when, because that's the one thing I don't understand is how they keep saying Sheamus's face guard thing is made out of steel and industrial strength steel, and but everyone keeps punching him and nothing.
Mm-hmm.
But what I was gonna say is I did like when Drew did the Glasgow kiss and almost knocked himself out, and then Sheamus headbutts him back, and I was like, that's what we need with the hands. Like, you punch it, you hurt your hand.
Yeah, 100%. Dude, and I think Ricochet also did a really good job of that too. He did like a jumping thing towards Sheamus, and his head hit his head. It was like some sort of flying headbutt thing, and then somehow Ricochet just started spinning in the air, and it was like, what the fuck? Like, Ricochet's incredible.
Yeah.
So
He's a
it was
superhero.
insane. He is. He's a goddamn superhero.
He's not almost a super. He is.
Yeah, no, he made it. But it was a pretty solid match. But then at the end of the match, Drew McIntyre rips the face mask off of Sheamus and then starts fucking beating him with it.
Yeah. I was like, there's our favorite face.
Yeah. Good guy Drew beating the shit out of a dude with a broken nose with his own protective gear.
Yeah.
Fucking dick.
Oh, what was
Dude,
that?
even WWE tweeted out, sportsmanship? Nah. Claymore? Yeah. Fuck off. That's your baby face?
Yeah.
Fuck off. Dicks, dude. Damian Priest talking some mad shit on Sheamus. Loved it. I do like that Sheamus won that match, though. I'd really enjoy to see Sheamus and Damian Priest one more time.
Oh, yeah.
But then I think at that point, though, I'd be ready for Damian to move on. My problem with Damian right now is he's getting caught up in these programs that are one person for 6 months. And I do like seeing guys wrestle a couple of times and you get to see the differences in the matches and such. But there's a certain point where too much is too much. And so I really want this to be the end of Sheamus and Damian Priest, no matter what happens. Personally, they're both so good.
Yes. I agree with that.
We had a promo here with Nikki Cross and Rhea Ripley, where Nikki Ash, ASH, says that they can be called Super Brutality. I actually liked it. I liked the idea of it a lot. What did you think?
I just don't get why they're a tag team. I think that's my thing.
Oh, yeah, that makes no sense.
And because of that, I just can't get behind it because, other tag teams like Cesaro and Sheamus, for example, they went back and forth.
Yes.
And Nikki, this was your opponent at SummerSlam less than a month ago. And now all of a sudden you guys are best friends?
Yeah, now you know what? Maybe you think we work really well together. What?
Yeah.
And Sheamus and Cesaro were put together by Mick Foley. They weren't even like kayfabe wanting to be a tag team. Foley was just like, look, we need more tag teams. That's how I'm going to book you. And they're like, we don't want this. No, this is bullshit. Which was also the best way we've ever seen that really happen. I don't know. It was good.
And they were upset about it. oh no, what the hell? You know, and then they were at
They're
odds with
competing
them and kept-
entrances.
Yeah, and then they kept winning. You know,
Yeah.
being at odds, and then they're like, "All right, let's embrace this and go." And yeah, the Bar was a great tag team.
They're incredible. They were
I
incredible.
wouldn't even be upset if they got them back together, tuned up the band again.
Yeah, that wouldn't bother me
Trade
one bit.
Cesaro to Raw.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm good with that. Good with that. Let me see. Oh, so the match happened, though. Rhea and Nikki against the tag team champions, Tamina and Natalya. And, dude, as much as I like Nikki and I like that she's getting a push right now, I don't love that this is like the third or fourth loss by the tag champions in a row.
No, they keep losing without defending their titles.
They just keep fucking losing at this point, and that's a real bummer.
Yeah, and once again, but they do this all the fucking time with the women tag belt, where Shotzi and Knox beat them for a chance at the title, and then they're just like, "No, forget it."
Yeah.
I forgot who else did that a while ago. Oh, Mandy and Dana.
Yeah.
Before that, wasn't it the IIRonics or Iconics?
Before,
whatever the fuck
no,
they
the
were?
Naomi and Carmella got number one contender spot.
Yeah.
They keep putting number one contenders and then just like moving on, and it's really weird because the match is meant to happen.
Yeah, exactly.
So it's a bit of a bummer. I don't like the champions losing that many times. I don't mind when a champion. I know you hate it. I don't mind when a champion loses a non-title match from time to time if it's done well. But at this point,
Yeah,
the
like
champions
4 or
are just
5
starting to
times
look
in a
bad.
row.
Yeah, they're just starting to look bad. And they look so dominant on the way over. Like getting here was dope. And now it's like, well,
He looked like a badass horse. And, you know, everyone got behind him, and now it's like, you know, why should we be rooting for these guys? They suck.
yeah, what the fuck happened here? Yeah, I agree with that. That was followed by Moist TV, which I did not like, but Karrion Kross did an awesome job. Tell me what you thought of this whole segment.
I liked it a lot. I like John Morrison, big fan. But I like how Karrion Kross was sitting there and, you know, and then played into it. Like, oh, well, actually, you know, and then just said, you know, I want to kill you.
Yeah.
Like a true, like, psychopath. Like,
Yeah.
you know, I thought that was great.
Yeah,
I'm not so sure. Yeah, I'm not so sure I'm interested in a Karrion Kross and Miz back and forth for very long, but if it's short and sweet, cool.
Yeah, 100%. Spin Fox does say, speaking of Foley, I agree in his comments this past Raw, just saying that is my opinion. I don't think that video he had was about Raw specifically. It was more a generality about WWE, but it was really good stuff. And I'll also say, check out the Pro Wrestling for Life podcast with Sean X-Pac Waltman. He had, right after Foley posted that, he did an interview with X-Pac, and it posted today on his podcast, and he goes a little more in depth in it, and I think it's fantastic. So you should definitely check that out. I don't think he's wrong either. But we're going to dig into what Foley said tomorrow on our next episode 1, to be quite honest. But yeah, and he says Johnny Impact versus Killer Kross. I mean, it's true. But in this one, so part of the thing that annoyed the shit out of me was during this TV segment, they had the Morrison's music just playing nonstop on loop, and it was really annoying the shit out of me.
Oh,
But-
really? I didn't catch that.
Yeah, it just wasn't stopping. But I did really like the match. I really like Karrion Kross's ability to hold his own in that talking, because that was something else too. I've heard people say, even when he was in NXT, a lot of people said, don't give Karrion the mic, just let Scarlett do all the talking. I do think that there is a bias towards... I think that sometimes people look good enough that people believe there's more there than there is. Like, I'm not saying Scarlett's a bad talker, but the way I saw a lot of people on the internet talking was like as though she was the best promo in the business, and it's just not the case. But I love that right now we're seeing Karrion Kross do it on his own, because I think once they add Scarlett, it's going to be a big deal and it's going to be cool. But I want to see that, and I'm enjoying seeing that Karrion Kross is definitely holding his own as it goes. They even posted a network exclusive thing afterwards that he just cut the meanest fucking promo, and it was dope. What's up, producer?
Going over the turnbuckle.
Oh, yeah. So in the match itself, dude, which I love this match. It was a fucking beatdown. There's that part where Karrion takes Morrison over to the turnbuckle and, like, flips him over it. You know, I don't know if there's anyone besides maybe Kofi and Ricochet who could pull off that bump that Morrison pulled off.
Yeah. No, it looked great.
Loved it. It was amazing.
So good.
And then Cross just, fucking chokes him out, and that's that. And I loved it. I liked how dominant he's looking. Tell me honestly, what do you think about his gear?
I'm not as opposed to it as everyone else is.
Yeah.
I'll
be honest.
The mask.
Go ahead.
Did he come out with the mask this week? He didn't, did he?
Yeah, he did. He walked out to the ring with the mask,
Yeah,
but by the
okay.
time he gets into the ring, he takes it off.
Yeah. I think if they played, because to me it's kind of like the, like I said, Demolition back in the day. And it's almost like an executioner mask in my eyes. I don't know why. But I wish they would just show him, or just even show the mask in random spots, like he's hunting somebody.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Kind of like what
Use
they
it.
did with the Fiend and, the puppets here and there.
Puppets.
Maybe not that, secretive or whatever.
Mm.
But just have it
Yeah.
lurking, and I think more people would get behind it.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm not, like I said, I'm not totally opposed to it. I'm not a huge fan of it, but I think it's all right. Basically.
I'm really 50-50 on the mask. I could take it or leave it. I don't think the mask looks like garbage, but it doesn't do much for me as a mask. I'm glad he doesn't wrestle in it. But to be honest, that kind of like the leather straps that he has, that kind of X with his logo in the middle, I kind of dig it. I think it works out really well.
Yeah.
And I think it kind of makes him stand out. And on obviously, it's a company that's based around merch, so that action figure is going to be completely identifiable, Yeah. Cernifox does say, "Oh, nice, they did that move like they did on their Impact storyline, except this time they did it in front of viewers." Let's see. Charlotte had a promo earlier. What do you think of that Charlotte promo? I ran right past it, but what did you think of it?
I'm trying to remember it. 'Cause I think
She was back there being like, "Nia's not like most women, but I'm one of a kind."
yeah. It's just typical Charlotte shitting on everyone else.
She sounds so fucking robotic and forced.
Yeah.
Like she sounds like generic wrestling promo. She has those generic wrestling promo pauses.
Yeah.
Well, Yeah. Let's see. We did end up having, though, Nia Jax talk some shit in the back, which was... I actually liked the line that she started with, where she's like, clearly Charlotte's like overcompensating or whatnot. She goes, she might not say I squashed her, but I squashed her. You're like, well, yeah, because you beat the shit out of her. And then we did have the match, though. Here's the thing. Going into this match, it was really neat. Because as they're walking to the ring and such, producer looks at me and she goes, are they really trying to make Nia a baby face? Who's the heel here? And I was like, well, I'll tell you this. I don't think that Nia's meant to be the baby face, but I do think in the match that Nia's probably going to be working more like a face than a heel. And then at the beginning of it, Shayna cuts a promo about how Nia Jax is going to choke and how she's a dumb bitch. And I was like, what the fuck was that? And I was like, oh, they're definitely trying to put sympathy on Nia right now. Maybe she is going babyface. And then there was all that shit with Shayna and Charlotte in each other's face throughout the match. Shayna cost Nia the match. I like the idea of Shayna getting a shot at the title, but a lot of this other shit seems unnecessary to me.
Yeah.
But maybe I'm wrong.
It seems like a backwards way to get Shayna versus Charlotte.
Yes. I mean, I'd be better if Shayna cost Nia the match more directly, like punched her in the face or something.
Yeah.
And then Nia's like, what the fuck is wrong with you? And then Shayna being like, if you've got a problem with it, and then let them have a match or two, and then be like, now that I'm done with you, I'm moving on to Charlotte. Like, reestablish Shayna as a badass. Yeah. Let her take down Nia, who just fucking took down the champion. You know what I mean? Like, let her step over her.
Mm-hmm.
It's just what I think.
Yeah.
But then at the end of it, we did have Alexa Bliss cut that promo over the screen where Charlotte lost her placement and nearly missed her cue entirely. And Alexa starts to respond to a thing that Charlotte hasn't had time to say yet because she thought she's real clever and perfect. But then Alexa goes, if you're not coming down the playground, I'll bring the playground to you. Which I thought was, yeah. I bring the playground to you. I don't know. I'll be honest. Go ahead.
I was going to say, once Alexa went to the ring, I hated this is my playground thing. And it's like, lately it just seems like Charlotte's like ripping off everyone's gimmick and trying to throw it back in their face.
Yeah. Whatever is the thing that you say, I'm going to say it now.
Yeah. Oh, you're a superhero? No, I'm the superhero.
Yeah.
And yeah. And then Alexa doesn't even speak. Sorry.
No, yeah, go ahead.
I was just going to say, then Alexa doesn't speak, just points at the title. And, you want this? You want this? And Charlotte's talking the whole time.
Yeah.
And, yeah. So I'm curious to see what they do, especially with like Extreme Rules coming up. Like, hopefully, there's a stipulation on that match.
Could be. I will say that I was postulating, as one does, and I think that if Alexa won the title here, it could be fantastic because she could then go on to be like, before, no one wanted to play with me. Now everyone wants to play with me. And just take that fucking playground gimmick up a notch. Yeah. I have so many more new friends. Yeah, then she just beats the shit out of everybody. I thought Alexa did awesome in all of this, though. I thought she did so good.
Do you think
facial expressions.
Do you think they strap one of the little mini replica belts on Lily?
Dude, that'd be so dope. It'd be so good. It would fit too, I bet.
Yeah, I bet it would.
Yeah. It'd be so good. Splint Fox does say Bailey or nothing. F it, have Bailey hold all the titles. All the titles would be a better place. I want to see Bailey take the title off Bobby Lashley, that's for sure. Let's see. We had the 24/7 segment. Reggie doing all his flips and shit. Very impressive, always. This was a fun little match that, didn't mean anything. And Drake Maverick shows up, stares down Reggie. And so now he's back to get that 24/7 title. So I think, go ahead.
I was going to say, I did like with Truth confronting Maverick or Drake. And he's all, this is my show. What are you doing here?
Yeah, exactly.
Get out of here. This is my show.
Yeah. It was fun. It was all fine. It was fun. It wasn't the kind of thing that I think is the best part, but that's, once you go to like the live events, you go, okay, yeah, you need to put in stuff like this from time to time so people can get up and go do some shopping and get some snacks and do the thing. And I just think it was entertaining, but yeah, it wasn't like a special thing necessarily.
Yeah.
Dude, when on the rewatch of Raw, the replay without commercials was 2 hours and 3 minutes. I just want to throw that out there. Yeah. The amount of people who say that 3 hours is a long time to book, and I keep saying the commercials are dragging the show. That's what I mean. Literally a third of this show was commercials. So when you watch it live, it feels like it's taking forever because a third of the show is commercials.
Because it is taking forever. Because you get bored as shit watching those commercials. And
yeah. And then you don't think of it. All you think of is the time you started and the time you end. But if a third of your show is commercials, it's going to feel fucking long because it's like, fuck, how are we only this far? Because we've taken 10 minutes and breaks in the first 20 minutes. You know what I mean? Like,
well,
that's
and
why.
especially with
Part
this episode where, you know, well, probably a good half of it was just the tag turmoil.
Yeah. Yeah, 100%. Let me see. What do you think about the Dewdrop promo in the back?
I mean, I didn't mind it. I like it.
I thought she did great. I thought she was talking awesome.
Yeah, kind of gives her more, her character more, you know, substance behind it.
Yeah. Yeah, 100%. I thought she did awesome. The idea that they're going to get a rematch out of Dewdrop and Eva Marie seems all right to me. I'm really curious how that plays out, though. But I thought Piper's or Dewdrop's ability to talk was so fucking good. Where I think that with as much as they've been not letting her talk much, I think that there was an apprehension to know, like, could she really cut a promo that would carry herself? And she fucking did. And she was funny. She was snarky. It was great. And so I'm really excited to see her do more stuff on her own. Spin Fox does say, it's like an NFL football game, all the fucking timeouts. Go to a commercial, then do a play, then back to a commercial, for fuck's sake. That's what I mean, man. That's exactly what I mean. A lot of people go like, why does this show feel like it's taking forever? Because it's taking forever to get back to the show.
Yeah.
That's not to say that everything that Raw does is fucking killer. This was not a bad episode of Raw. This had a lot of great wrestling. With the Tag Team Turmoil and New Day and all of the even Drew and Sheamus, there was great wrestling matches on this show. But it was drowned out by so many commercials that even by the end of a good show, you go, fuck this show. So it's tough, I think. But at the same time, I mean, SmackDown's replay really doesn't show many for commercials. It's usually between an hour and a half and an hour and 45 of their replays. So it really is like the show's flying by because you're watching a bunch of good stuff, then you get a quick commercial.
Yeah.
Or even I love how they cut to commercial now during Roman's entrance.
Yeah. Cut that
I love
back
that.
a lot. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because we were talking about it, like Roman's entering Undertaker territory on how long it takes him to get to the goddamn ring.
Yeah, dude, 100%. And then when he makes it, you're all like, all right, well, so then you don't feel like you missed anything. You know what I mean? You're like, oh, he's coming out, commercial break. I'm going to run to the bathroom. You come back, and he just gets to the ring. All right, perfect. Let's go.
Well, that was one of my complaints, too, that I meant to bring up with New Day and Viking Raiders. Is that one commercial break where they catch Kofi doing that trust fall and use Kofi to hit Woods, and you're like, holy shit, that was awesome. It's like commercial. And then they come back from commercial, and New Day's kicking the Raiders' ass.
Yeah.
You're like, whoa, what the fuck happened?
Yeah, what the hell just happened here? The show did end in more tag team turmoil. It was all good. I really like Mansoor and Ali. But the one spot I really wanted to ask you about, dude, when Bobby Lashley tried to lift up Omos, how fucking wild is it that Omos makes Bobby Lashley look like a tiny dude?
Dude, like crazy. It's ridiculous.
I couldn't fucking believe it. When they're standing right there. And then when Bobby even grabs him, and Bobby's muscles don't even look that big anymore, you're like, what the fuck? Like,
what happened?
Yeah, what happened? Like, how fucking big is Omos?
Yeah, he looked like the Mario character when you get hit by a shell or something and you shrinks down to the little Mario. That was Bobby.
Yeah, it was insane. Bobby and Omos looked like Bobby and Leo Rush, but in reverse. Yeah. It was insane. Dude, and I loved how Bobby tried to lift him and couldn't quite do it. That tells me at some point, Bobby's going to lift that motherfucker. And it's going to be fucking incredible. But at the end of it, Bobby and... Wait.
MVP.
Bobby and MVP, yeah, they were tagged. They won the match. They're going to get their title shot next week. But I also saw on WWE's fucking Instagram, they announced that Randy Orton's going to have a title shot against Bobby Lashley at Extreme Rules.
Yeah.
I'm excited about that. I think it's going to be a good fucking match.
They announced
both these
it
gonna be good.
that night, I thought.
Did they? I might have missed it. I don't hear everything on commentary. But
Yeah. I mean, yeah, I think the tag title match is just to lead up to obviously the Extreme Rules match.
Yeah.
I'm just curious, do you just throw a swerve out there and you have Bobby and MVP win the tag team championships, and you have Randy win the WWE championship?
that would be cool. Because that would be nuts.
Yeah.
That would be insane. I would not be against that. I don't know. I really don't know where you go here because I do think it's kind of a win-win. RK Bro, Bobby, MVP, anyone with those titles right now looks dope. And then Randy or Bobby with the title. Because I see Randy as being the type of guy who can take to do what he did with Drew. He can take the title off of someone and give it back to that someone, and it really solidifies him as still being good enough to get the job done, but also being bested. Like, I don't like seeing titles just go back and forth like that a lot, but I do think that there's something to it sometimes. Like, I don't like really short reigns, but sometimes it does help both characters to get that one more title reign in there for a little bit. So it's a little harder to say on that one, especially with a guy like Randy, and especially how much you and I both want Randy to get like inch closer 17. To that possible 17. Yeah.
18, 20.
Yeah. Let's see. Splinter Fox does say, I wish the picture-in-picture in AEW was like that. Do it while they were coming to the ring so there won't be not that much missed in the match. Yeah, and I heard last week or something, a match actually finished during picture-in-picture. So, like, you didn't even get to see the finish of the match if you didn't watch live, which, yeah, a lot of people can't watch live because of how they even stream. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that'd be terrible.
Yeah. And it was like an Orange Cassidy match or something, so a lot of people like them, so it was a popular thing. And, yeah, to have a match completely finish, yeah, it was. So, yeah, I mean, I agree. Like, I think I get it. At times, picture-in-picture can be really cool to be like, oh, you don't want to miss this. But at other times, it's like, not everyone is afforded the ability to watch live with the picture-in-picture. So it's also not like just flat out alienate them on big stuff. But
yeah, definitely have. I like the picture-in-picture with AEW. I did find it a lot of times that I was watching the commercial and not the match.
Yeah.
And then I'd be like, fuck, the match is going on. And then, then I'd watch the match, and then I think it's that I can't hear it.
Yeah.
So then I'm like, oh, what are they talking about over there? And then I switch my focus. But yeah, I definitely think picture-in-picture across all, shows would be awesome. But at the same time, I don't think you end a match during picture-in-picture.
Yeah, I thought it was a bit of a bummer for the people who really like it. But, as it were, I'm excited to see where we go with this. That's about all I had for Raw, though. Was there anything you think we missed on Raw?
Just the one thing I liked was the end of the New Day and AJ and Omos match.
Yes.
Where Omos just picks up and who was it? It was Kofi, right? He picks up Kofi and he places him on AJ like you're playing with, two action figures. And then he
he just hands him
and it's over. Yeah, I thought that was awesome.
It was incredible. AJ Styles has the most incredible ways to get into the Styles Clash, and that one was so good. Couldn't you just like hand him to me upside down? Yeah, why not?
Yeah, just put him right here, please.
Yeah, and the way Ali, when Kofi was whipped off the ropes, and Ali pulled the ropes apart, so he just goes flying between them.
That was so great too. Yeah, because I missed it at first, and they're like, "Oh, they pulled the ropes." I was like, "All right, whatever." I didn't think about rewinding it because I just figured, you pull down the second one. And then when they showed the replay, I was like, "Oh, that was awesome!" Where he's like standing there, Yeah, I thought it was good.
Perfectly timed, so good.
Yeah.
But yeah, and again, the New Day I thought were the absolute MVPs in this. Xavier Woods. Xavier Woods might actually be one of the more underrated wrestlers out there. As much as the conversation's always happening, people don't talk enough about just how incredibly stellar Xavier Woods is.
See, I don't think he would ever be in the underrated category in most people's eyes because of all the belt reigns, tag reigns.
Yes. I think that he's very much appreciated as a tag wrestler. I think he's completely underrated in how people view him as a singular talent and what he provides to that tag team.
Yes, I agree with that. And yeah, like I said, I just don't think in most people's eyes they'd be like, "Oh, he's not underrated. He's 80-time tag champ."
Yeah. No, I got you. Well, I think that's about all I had for today. Unless there's something unless there's something else you think we're missing.
No.
Yeah. Guys, I'm glad that you guys came through, had a couple drinks with us. Bishop came through a little bit ago. I meant to say hello and cheers to you, drinking buddy.
Cheers.
Also, check out twtakes.podcast.com/TWTs and use promo code DIVEBAR for massive deals on his super comfy t-shirts. Not to mention, do not forget, as Bishop always says, do not forget, Flow State Coffee is specialty grade coffee with L-theanine and rocket cacao for productivity and creativity, giving you better energy, focus, and mood than a regular cup of coffee while decreasing the negative side effects like anxiety and blood pressure. That's right, newwave.co, NOOWAVE.co, promo code CHEERS to get an additional 10% off any ongoing sales they have, or 10% off your first bag in a subscription service. That's right, you can get your coffee delivered to you subscription-wide, weekly, bi-weekly, monthly, bi-monthly. You can go buy itself or be buy. That is up to you to decide. New Wave Coffee. Producer lady, something she wants to say?
Capocania is going to have an announcement in 2 days.
Oh. Capocania's got an announcement coming up. Everybody pay attention. Capocania. Spinner Fox does make a really good point, though. He said, I forgot something major. Bailey or nothing. It's hard to argue. It's really hard to argue. I'm not going to lie. But Splinter Fox, I want to thank you for coming through and catching up on all your Raw and SmackDown needs. We like to let you know what's happening over there so you don't got to feel like you got to watch anything you shouldn't have to watch. But, we're here for you, our drinking buddy. If you want to, tomorrow night we're going to be talking AEW, NXT, me, Amanda Jane, Crybaby Clump, going to be here talking about all the things changing over in AEW and all the things changing in NXT. And what does that mean? Where are we finally at in this landscape of wrestling? Kev, I'm feeling like a last call. How about you?
Yes, sir.
That is Kevlar on the Rocks, one half of the IIRonics. I am at Ref Marsh. We are at WOTR the show. And come back tomorrow night or next week for a brand new episode 1 right here in the dive bar of the IWC. Guys, that's the last call.
Cheers.
Hey, producer lady here. Thanks for tuning in. Continue to support us or buy us a drink by following and putting the I in subscribe on Twitch. Or subscribe and review our podcast on Apple Podcasts or wherever you listen to us. Cheers!
I would never have a drink with wrestling on the rocks.